right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Showers ahead of the cold front right now. Winds will whip in the cold air behind this front. How it impacts your St. Patrick's Day and weekend plans.
We're just hours away from St. Patrick's Day, but tonight the celebration has already started in Dogtown. The sea of green expected for tomorrow's big parade. First tonight, a Missouri sheriff and 2 of his deputies find themselves on the other side of the law, accused in a kidnapping scheme, leaving a community with a lot of questions.
Definitely skeptical of the integrity of the place at this point.
Tonight we continue to follow the stunning shakeup at the Iron County Sheriff's Office. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. Hours ago, special investigators with the Missouri State Highway Patrol arrested the sheriff and 3 others. Iron County is about 90 minutes southwest of St. Louis. Our Robert Townsend is in Ironton tonight with reaction from a stunned community.
Here in the small town of Ironton all day and evening, the big news has definitely been the arrest of the sheriff and several others here at this sheriff's office.
I hope it steps up and do what they're actually supposed to do for once.
You don't believe the allegations?
No.
Jeff Burkett has been the Iron County Sheriff for just over 2 years, but now he, under Sheriff Chase Bresnahan and Deputy Matt Kozad, are accused of helping a citizen, Donald Rick Gaston, kidnap his daughter, involving Gaston and the mother of his child. Detectives with the Missouri State Highway Patrol say the parental kidnapping scheme occurred last month. The 4 suspects each face multiple charges, including criminal street gang activities, conspiracy to commit felonies, stalking, misusing 911, obtaining criminal history, first-degree attempted kidnapping, and making a false police report.
I will back the sheriff 100%.
People in the small town of 9,500 have mixed reactions to the arrest of the sheriff and other law enforcement officers. Marie Yount is the sheriff's assistant.
He's a great guy. He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't do anything that would jeopardize him in his job.
Definitely skeptical of the integrity of the place at this point.
In a statement, the sheriff's attorney says, quote, Iron County is run by a group of good old boys. Sheriff Burkett poses a serious threat to their unchecked authority and will continue to fight their ongoing 2-year attempt to remove him from office. The attorney added, quote, I wonder what they're afraid of finding. We were there when a tow truck driver returned the sheriff's patrol car to the sheriff's office. Meantime, Iron County Coroner Tim Harbison will act as sheriff.
We got a good plan in place today, but let everybody just let the system work out.
And as of right now, all 4 suspects are locked up in jail in Washington County. In Iron County, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Sheriff Burkett is being held on a $500,000 bond. The 3 others are being held on $400,000 bonds. Showers are still moving through St. Louis tonight. A live look at Busch Stadium now. We're exactly 2 weeks from opening day, but it doesn't feel like Cardinals baseball weather, and it certainly won't tomorrow. Weather First Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joined us now with a chilly St. Patrick's Day forecast.
Glad tomorrow's not the home opener for St. Louis and the opening day, but nonetheless, there are a lot of events happening around St. Louis, as we, of course, have all the events in Dogtown for St. Patrick's Day. And yes, it's going to be cold, but it won't be like this. It's wet right now in St. Louis. We're still looking at showers across the area. We are still in the mid-50s, but the back edge of the shower is getting a little bit closer. Most of the heavier rain off to our south and east right now, stretching from around Salem, just east of Nashville, over through Centralia, then back down towards Perryville. We still have some in the metro area for sure. See that little thin line that's just now moving through O'Fallon, Missouri? That is the front. Temperatures behind that are dropping off, doing so quickly. Columbia is already down to 37 degrees while we're still in the mid-50s here in St. Louis. So temperatures are going down overnight. We're looking at the showers ending after midnight. Then those cold gusty winds take over. But as the colder air comes in, the moisture goes out, so we don't have to worry about snow for tomorrow morning. It will be a relatively bright and dry weekend. Just more like a winter weekend for sure. We'll see you in a few minutes. Mike, we'll talk about next week's warm-up.
All right, Scott. Dogtown is getting an early start on the St. Patrick's Day celebrations tonight, kicking off a weekend full of lucky traditions. Our Laura Barczewski talked with organizers tonight ahead of the big parade tomorrow. Laura.
Mike, it's a special weekend in Dogtown that the neighborhood has been planning for months. And even though it's going to be gloomy, the organizers say nothing can bring down the luck of the Irish.
Dogtown is officially on the hunt for a rainbow. The Ancient Order of Hibernians kicked off the celebratory weekend with a mass honoring the feast of St. Patrick at St. James the Greater Catholic Church.
This mass is really special because it kind of brings together everything what the Hibernians are about professing our Irish Catholic faith, pride in our Irish history, pride in our Catholic faith.
Followed by corned beef and cabbage and tapping the first keg of Guinness for the weekend. For Nancy Arunsky, St. Patrick's Day is truly a special holiday. Her grandfather came to the U.S. from Ireland decades ago.
I think for me it's my Irish roots. When we were younger, my mother had green everything, green pancakes, green coffee, everything was green, and she really did it up, and I just like to honor that. I do it in memory of my mom.
Just steps outside, the neighborhood is ready with shamrocks from curb to curb, tents and decorations where thousands of people will line up.
It's not St. Patrick's Day without the parade.
This event has a huge economic impact on both the neighborhood and actually the city of St. Louis because it brings a lot of people into the city.
The Ancient Order of Hibernians parade will start at Oakland Avenue and dance all the way down Tam Avenue to Manchester Avenue.
Matter of fact, we just had a safety meeting 2 weeks ago with all the units. We understood the weather might be iffy. We explained to them, it's their call, and we make sure everything was safe. We have security marshals on board. We work with St. Louis Police Department, work with EMTs, fire safety. So
it's something Barbara Cruz says she can't miss.
We come here every year. It's such a family-oriented atmosphere, and it's nice and fun and relaxing.
There are a couple things the Hibernians ask attendees to do. Make sure to move your cars away from the parade route as they will be towing tomorrow morning, and be respectful to the neighborhood and the people who live there while you have fun. And have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Laura, you too. 5 on Your Side is a proud sponsor of the Ancient Order of Hibernians Parade and the Dogtown Irish Festival. Look for the 5+ live bus and the Storm Tracker in the parade. And if you can't make it down, we're going to stream it live on 5+. It's free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. And Dogtown isn't the only party tomorrow. The Charles Division of the Ancient Order of Hibernians will hold the 2nd annual St. Patrick's Day Parade down historic Main Street. It steps off tomorrow at 4 p.m. from the Lewis and Clark Boathouse parking lot. It will travel north down Main Street to First Capitol Drive. New tonight, the Tennessee teenager who lost both of her legs when she was hit by a car while walking in downtown St. Louis is out of the hospital and is now in a rehab facility in Nashville. And tonight, we're seeing the first image of 17-year-old Janae Edmondson since the crash nearly 1 month ago. Her family posted this picture to the Pray for Janae GoFundMe page, saying, "Off to rehab. We're so proud of her." The family calls her a warrior with strength beyond measure. Janae was in town last month for a volleyball tournament when she was hit by a speeding car that hit another car. The driver, Daniel Riley, was violating his GPS monitoring at the time. New developments tonight in the fallout from that crash and the subsequent legal battle to remove St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner from office. Just minutes ago, we learned Gardner filed another motion to dismiss, claiming Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey rushed his legal filing and that he's, quote, taking advantage of a tragedy for political gain. Earlier today, Bailey filed more documents saying a number of witnesses have come forward to prove Gardner is not doing her job. We asked a Washington University law professor what could be behind the new filing.
It may be a recognition on the Attorney General's part that their original petition was lacking in some respects, so they want to bolster what they originally filed, and they want time to be able to do that.
The Attorney General is also asking for a June trial date. That will be up to a judge. Tonight, a start of a new legacy for one South City school. St. Louis Public Schools rededicated the former Kennard Classical Junior Academy today to a former St. Louis educator. New tonight, our Brent Solomon explains it comes after a movement to strip the name of a Confederate Army leader.
If out with the old, in with the new was a classroom lesson, these youngsters would pass by simply witnessing it firsthand. So with their parents.
Oh my goodness, it has been quite a journey.
Fantini Spees has a fourth grader at a school that's had several name changes. For years, this building was known as the Kennard Classical Junior Academy, in honor of former St. Louis businessman Samuel Kennard.
We believe it had ties to the Ku Klux Klan.
Parents put up a fight and convinced school leaders to remove the reference to Kennard. In 2020, the school was temporarily renamed Classical Junior Academy, and now a new milestone.
So now the school is Betty Wheeler Classical Junior Academy.
And signage around the school reflects that. The late Betty Wheeler founded the Metro School in St. Louis. She was known for a culture of inclusion and tough love. Thursday, the community gathering for a rededication ceremony. Wheeler's daughter was there.
She worked hard, she sacrificed, and it's good to know that her students, St. Louis Public Schools, have recognized her.
School leaders approving the name change last summer. Parents say it's a long time coming.
We didn't give up, and we kept asking the superintendent and asking the school board.
Persistence and patience resulting in a newfound pride.
We need to be honoring folks like Betty Wheeler and others instead of just sticking with what was done 100 years ago, because it's been this way for 100 years.
Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
The community began referencing the school by its new name at the start of the school year. Today's rededication ceremony makes it official. She's one of the many Kia and Hyundai owners whose car was stolen. After paying thousands in repairs, she says she's stuck with a vulnerable car.
Nobody wants to have it. Nobody will take it.
Tonight, the I-Team digs into a new lawsuit and the responses from both companies.
The last band of showers pushing in towards St. Louis from the west. We're tracking the rain and another round of unseasonably chilly air as we head into the weekend.
For months, our I-Team has been following the surge in Kia and Hyundai thefts of certain models. It's a crime spree hitting our cities, counties, and the nation. Tonight, our I-Team looks at local lawsuits filed this week asking for something more than software upgrades. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan met with one victim who says the automakers need to step up.
As thefts of Hyundais and Kias continue to rise, there are two sides.
There's nothing technically wrong with the vehicles.
The car companies, who say they've done nothing wrong. And people like St. Louis native LaToya Jones.
I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm afraid to drive it.
She's already had her Kia stolen once from outside her apartment complex in University City.
They broke the steering wheel, the steering collar. All of that was tore up.
Police found it 19 days later. Between repairs and insurance, it cost her over $3,000.
So I feel like they should have to pay for that.
She believes it's only a matter of time before it happens again.
I'm afraid to take it anywhere because I'm not sure if it's going to be out there when I come back.
She's suing the automaker.
I can't believe that they made a vehicle and put it out there where people can steal it so easy.
Here in St. Louis County, where Jones's car was stolen, police say Hyundais and Kias account for 56% of car thefts. 2 years ago, the same car brands accounted for around 8% of thefts.
It's been driven by social media. Videos show how to exploit weaknesses on certain models made between around 2011 and 2021 that lack engine immobilizers. In seconds, cars can be stolen with nothing more than a screwdriver and a USB charger.
It was a mess.
Now, Jones wants her money back. Her attorney, Mitch Stoddard, filed 2 lawsuits against Hyundai and Kia this week on behalf of Jones and another car owner. He says the lawsuits are among the first against the companies in our area.
This seems to be a profit-driven lack of following safety measures at the expense of consumers that purchase these vehicles.
We asked if others are to blame too.
Let's talk about big tech. A lot of the people that are stealing these cars learn to do it on social media. Do you think social media should be held responsible?
This is something where word would have gotten out without social media being involved whatsoever.
He's pointing the finger at Kia and Hyundai, urging the automakers to buy cars back from drivers, compensating them for their suffering. The I-Team has heard from multiple victims, including Jones, who say insurance companies only covered a car rental for a month. But after their stolen cars were found, repairs took around 4 months. That meant spending their own money on ride shares and other forms of transportation.
What's keeping you from getting rid of this car?
Nobody wants to have it. Nobody will take it. Not even the dealership. They won't take it. They don't want any parts of it. Or they're trying to give you a low price for it. So you're kind of stuck.
The federal government requires that when a key is removed from a car, the steering column locks up so the car can't move. In response to lawsuits, Kia and Hyundai say they've rolled out software upgrades and other measures to prevent theft. Jones and her attorney argue they're too little, too late. Want to get in touch with me about this story or another investigative tip? Email me at paula@ksdk.com. For the I-Team, Paula Vasan, 5 on your side.
Hyundai and Kia say they're continuing to make steering wheel locks available to owners of affected vehicles at no cost through local law enforcement agencies. The automakers also say notices about those software upgrades are going out to eligible drivers now. You can find the company's full statements on our website, ksdk.com. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us now with this weather first forecast, and it's a cold one.
It is. You know, temperatures already dropping off west of St. Louis. We take it to Main Street in St. Charles right now because the cold front is working through St. Charles at this moment. The winds are turning to the northwest, picking up. Still some rain in that area right now and across much of the metro, but we're going to see that pushing out as well. 56 still at Lambert. There's your winds out of the south-southwest at 15 miles per hour. Ahead of the front, bringing us the warmer air today. 64 for the high. Our low this morning, 46. We're now up to about 0.2 of an inch of liquid in the rain gauge. There you go with your temperatures in the 50s, but you don't have to go far. O'Fallon's already dropped off to 45, 46 in Lake St. Louis. Kirksville's at 31, Kansas City's at 32. The cold air is coming in with those northwesterly breezes. We also see a line of snow back here, but we're not concerned about that. This band will tend to dissipate as it gets closer to St. Louis, but it has left upwards of a half an inch to an inch of slushy accumulations on some car windshields out not too far from Kansas City here this evening. For us, too warm for that, and by the time that colder air gets here, the moisture's scooting on out. Right now, the heaviest rain out Interstate 70 as you're pushing from Vandalia on out towards Effingham. Florida, some heavier showers. Looks like the rain's starting to let up just a little bit now around Salem and Centralia, although you still have a couple more hours to go. In the immediate metro, pretty widespread within the 270, 255 loop right now, and then down to our south, a wet, soggy drive down Interstate 55. That is all going to change later tonight. The cold front scoots on to the east. It takes the moisture with it, but it opens the door to gusty winds and to those colder temperatures. We're dropping back into the upper 20s by about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And not only that, we'll start to see the clouds breaking up. So here's the good news for your St. Patrick's Day. It's a brighter afternoon because the system scoots on out. Here's the bad news for your St. Patrick's Day. That breeze is here to stay, and it's gusty. Wind chills in the teens tomorrow morning, still in the 20s during the parade in the afternoon, right through the early afternoon. St. Charles wind chills will come up into the 30s for late in the afternoon. Battlehawks in town, home game Saturday if you're tailgating. Partly cloudy, still breezy. City Park, going to be a mainly clear sky Saturday night, but around 30 degrees. So afternoon sunshine's on the way tomorrow as the clouds break up, but it's windy, gusts to 30, maybe 35 miles per hour, only 44 or so for the high temperature. Saturday's even colder with a high of 36. 40 on Sunday, 49 on Monday. Spring begins on Monday, the vernal equinox Monday afternoon. It'll feel more like it as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday, but of course, as we warm up next week, that'll bring back the chance for a few more showers. A lot of layers tomorrow for your St. Patrick's Day.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, tonight is like a mini Sports Plus. Mizzou, Illinois, Bennington, Flaherty, UMSL, and Vashon, and we will do it all in 4 minutes and for free.
The Sports Desk is brought to you by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer, 10 years running.
If you are going to have to wait 13 years in between NCAA tournament wins, then you should do it in style. And that's what Mizzou did today against Utah State in Sacramento. The best players took over when they had to. Favorite moment of the game, Kobe Brown behind the back, reverse pivot, and reverse dunk. Kobe had 12 straight points, 19 for the game. He missed one shot. He was just feeling it in Sacramento. And then Demoy Hodge got hot. He scored a game-high 23, and Mizzou wins it 76-65.
Man, big-time players make big-time plays, and he definitely went out there and made some big plays. And, he's a great player. You know, he obviously showed it, and he's showing the world right now.
It's big for us, and it's big for our fans. They've been talking about it all year. They came and gave us a big send-off when we left the arena. So this is for them, and if they're watching, this is for y'all.
Arizona and Princeton battling for the right to play Mizzou on Saturday. The Tigers' Blake Peters drains the three, the 15 seed, making Arizona sweat. Princeton ended the game on a 9-0 run. Ryan Langborg gives them the lead. They pull the shocker 59-55, so it will be the Tigers versus the Tigers in Sacramento. Brad Underwood and the Fighting Illini squared off against Arkansas in Des Moines. Illinois trailed most of the game, but they made a run here. The steal and R.J. Melendez with the two-handed jam. The lead is cut to 5. Arkansas came right back. Ricky Council the fourth, 2 of his 18. Hogs roll 73-63. The shocker of the day. 4-seed Virginia up by 2, but trapped in their own end by Furman. A prayer of a pass goes up. The Paladins intercept J.P. Pugliese. With the shot, it goes down. Tony Bennett can't believe it. Virginia got the last shot. Reese Beekman, good look. No good. Furman's first NCAA win in 49 years, 68-67. So for the first time in 51 years, the UMSL Tritons will be going to the Elite Eight of the NCAA Division II tourney. UMSL had basically an entirely new team this year, and they were picked to finish 7th in the league. Now they can win it all. Today they had a celebration for the squad in the Student Center. They're headed to Evansville on Tuesday night for the game against undefeated Nova Southeastern. The semifinals are Thursday, and the finals are on national TV on Saturday.
Well, it means a lot for the players. When you get a little older in coaching, it's less about you and more about what they're going to get to experience. And it's great for the players. And then for them to cut down the nets and go to the Elite Eight, I think they're going to have a great week.
Tony Irons and the Vashon Wolverines facing Father Tolton High in Springfield in the semifinals. Class 4. Cameron Stovall will throw it down. Vashon moves to the finals 49-45. The Vashon girls have never won a state title. Today they faced Southern Boone County, and when you look at this ball movement, crisp passes. Janila Bush drains the 3. The V wins it 55-40. They face Benton in the state finals. The Blues will be without Jordan Binnington for a bit. Binnington was suspended for 2 games today for his scuffle with the Wild last night at Enterprise Center. Joel Hofer has been called up to replace him. City SC is back in St. Louis this weekend to face San Jose on Saturday. They're still the only 3-0 team left in the MLS. Today, Coach Carnell said that once they got the pressure of those first 2 games out of the way, things have really opened up.
Now we're just playing free, which is awesome. And the minute we can play free and with momentum, then it's difficult to contain and difficult to stop if you have the right mentality. And I believe the group has the right mentality, and I think there's a good energy.
Cardinals and Astros today in Jupiter. Jack Flaherty got hit hard by Jose Abreu, a double and a homer. Jack went 4 1/3, gave up 2 runs, and Houston won it today 3-0. And that will do it in sports.
Busy day. All right, Frank, thanks. A Catholic conundrum solved. The Lent loophole for St. Patrick's Day. Well, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and even though it's a Friday during Lent, local Catholics can enjoy their corned beef. Many bishops across the country, including St. Louis Archbishop Mitchell Rosansky and Bishop Michael McGovern of the Belleville Diocese, are giving their flock a one-day pass. Archbishop Rosansky's exemption includes all types of meat, He's asking Catholics to perform an act of piety in its place. And Scott has one final check of the St. Patrick's Day weather.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of green on the radar screen right now, but the good news with that is it's on the move, and that cold front is now coming in to St. Louis County. It's about into Bridgeton. It's almost into downtown Chesterfield and working its way towards Manchester and Baldwin. The heavier rain shifting off to the east and to the south of St. Louis. So we will be talking about colder weather moving in through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, and we dry out. So even though it's cold tomorrow, you're looking at temperatures by 10 o'clock and into the lunch hour, running back into the mid-30s. As the sun returns, wind chills mainly in the 20s.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next. Keanu Reeves is Jimmy's guest. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. And have a great tomorrow.